everybody, Cara with Bluebird Homestead. Hope y'all are having a great day today. I just got a package delivered with some live plants from Costco that I ordered. So I thought I would do a little unboxing video for you and go ahead and get them in the ground. They have these pesky little staples here. So it might take me a second to rip all these up, but let's see what we got. I ordered 2 Limelight hydrangeas by Proven Winners. These are actually on sale right now at Costco. So if you're seeing this video soon after it was posted, hopefully they still have some and you can go snag a few for yourself. These are really pretty bushes. I already have one in the ground that I transplanted from our previous home before we moved. As you can see, it's got lots of pretty new growth growing and it is looking nice for spring. But let's look at the tag here. So Limelight Pinnacle Hydrangea. They are these pretty chartreuse green color first thing in the spring. Then they'll turn to more of a white head. I'll see if I can insert some pictures from my bush here that I had last year. And then in the fall, they turn this pink kind of burgundy color. They grow 6 to 8 feet tall and wide. Light exposure, sun to part shade. Cut flowers, cold hardy. Blooms in summer and fall. Zones 3 through 9. So yeah, let's get these out of the box. For those of you who don't know, this is a new construction home and we are going to be landscaping around the entire house this spring. So be sure to stay tuned to see everything go into the ground. This is the east side of the house. So the hydrangeas will have sun in the morning to get their leaves nice and dried off from any dew from the nighttime, but then they'll be protected in a little bit of shade in the hottest part of the day. So that'll be perfect for them. I already have this one Limelight hydrangea, like I mentioned, that we transplanted from the old house, and I'm gonna make it sort of a hedge here along the side of the house. So the plan is to have the hydrangea hedge along the back and then fill in with a few other plants in the front. I have some of these blue and white hyacinths. These are ones I planted last fall when we first moved in. I have them kind of bordering the edge of this bed. They stop about halfway, simply because that's all was in the budget to buy last year. We will be continuing them along the rest of the way this fall. I have my 2 Limelight hydrangeas out of the box now. One thing I really like about the way they ship is they have these bamboo stakes in them, which I think is really handy so that if it does flip over, it wouldn't smash any of the branches. It would hit the bamboo stake instead. And I'm gonna repurpose these in the garden for some of my sugar snap peas as some trellising. They say on the tag to do 6 to 8 foot tall and wide in your spacing. I kind of want this to be a hedge, so I'm gonna go on the shorter side of that. And one thing to note, when the spacing guide tells you the width, it's not from edge of plant to edge of plant, it's from center of plant to center of plant. So let's measure 6 feet from the center of this one over, and that's where we're gonna put our first hole. I recruited my husband here to help me out. He's gonna be digging the holes for me and helping me hold the measuring tape. It'll go a lot quicker with 2 people versus 1. So you wanna do 6 foot from center to center.
And then how far from the wall?
And then let's mark the next hole first.
Okay.
So you wanna grab the tape for me? I think I put a line over there where I think it might be.
Yeah.
All right, 6 foot.
Close.
There we go. So 6 foot from center to center of the plants here to make the hedge, and then we're doing 3 feet from the wall. So I'm just double checking my spacing here. Yeah, we had done this one 3 foot too. The ones that just arrived from Costco.com are dormant still, but I'm hoping that as soon as we get them into the ground, they'll start to leaf up. My husband Ryan just finished digging the holes for me, so now I'm going to add some biotone starter and get these into the ground. I had my husband dig me the hole just as deep because you want the soil to be at the level of the existing wood and a little bit wider. We'll see how these hydrangeas do on their own, but we are thinking about maybe adding some drip irrigation to these beds around the house. But the first hydrangea's in the ground. Let's go ahead and plant the other one. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. That is real big rock.
I went through the big rock. You got big muscles, it's right.
If you haven't seen my Costco plant haul video, then be sure to go and check that out. I got these hybrid tea roses from there. We're going to be putting those in the ground as well. They've already started to leaf out. I should have planted them before they got leafed out here, but the weather just didn't quite cooperate with us. But we're going to get these into the ground today too. So these had these wire metal twists around them. I took these off already, and now we're just going to cut it open. Might just be easier to rip it. Yeah. Save a little bit of that mulch into the garden there. Looks like they're got roots coming out of the bottom. Looks pretty nice. We got our second hybrid tea rose going in. I did 30-inch spacing on this and 30 inches from the porch. I'm hoping they kind of grow into one big bush instead of two smaller ones, but we'll see. Our porch swing's situated here in the corner, and it's one of our favorite places to hang out because we just love looking out into the front field. So my plan is to have lots of fragrant foliage here around this porch swing area so that we get nice, pretty smells when we are swinging. So there are going to be several different varieties of roses here along this edge. We just planted these 2 hybrid tea roses that I got from Costco, and I have 2 more roses coming from Heirloom Roses that I'll share with you when they arrive. I'm going to be also purchasing another rose that goes in that back corner. That'll hopefully be a climbing rose that'll go down that fence line there. Good morning, y'all. Cara here. It is a beautiful morning this morning. The birds are singing today, and we get to do some planting. I have all of my bags of bulbs that I bought at Costco, and we're going to be getting those into the ground. Hopefully we have enough time to get it all done, so let's get after it. I have these 6 Patriot hostas. They're the ones I got at Costco. They're starting to sprout. I've been sick, so I haven't had a chance to get them into the ground, so hopefully they'll be all right. My plan is to kind of set up where I want everything, and then I will be getting them into the ground. So I'm doing 3 of these Patriot hostas in the front on each side. We have steps here on the porch. I'm mirroring what I'm doing over here, over there. And then I think I'm gonna intermix them with these Christmas ferns. I did this first Patriot hosta 2 foot from the edge in each direction. Now I'm gonna go over to the other side and do the other one exactly 2 foot from where the edge of the porch is and up as well. The edge of the porch, I'm kind of drawing an imaginary line from this edge corner, and that's where I'm measuring 2 foot in, because I think I'm gonna put something larger here after this bump out. I'm just mirroring what's in line with the porch. So now that I put my 2 hostas on the corners, I have a third one that I'm going to do in the middle. And so I'm just going to measure the distance between the 2 hostas and divide it, and that'll give me my middle point. Now, before I forget all the math I just did, let's mirror it on the other side. Okay, so we have hosta, fern, all along the front here. Let's go back over to our bags and see what we have left. So we did the hostas and the Christmas ferns, every other in the front there. So the lily of the valley I'm doing next. They make these little, really pretty little white bell-shaped flowers. The lily of the valley only get 12 inches tall. The hostas will get about 20 and the ferns will get about 24, I think. So it'll be nice to have like a staggered height. So we'll have short in the front, then a medium height, and then something taller in the back. It's gonna look so nice to see all this mulched. I love how fresh mulch looks on a garden. I'm excited to get my big shrubs here in a few weeks too. So be sure to stay tuned for that. They already started to sprout, unfortunately, but I've been kind of under the weather, so I haven't had a chance to plant them yet. But we're getting them into the ground today, so better late than never. So I have lily of the valley, ferns and hostas, and I'm going to do a stilbea as the 3rd layer, and then boxwoods as the 4th bigger layer in the back. But the boxwoods will come later on. We planted the front of the house. Now this side gets partial shade. The front of the house gets full shade, but this side gets partial shade. So I'm not 100% sure what I want to put where, but I think I might just do a small clump of the lily of the valley and the rest of the astilbe and kind of make it a little focal point. I plan on having something larger up here against the house. So I'm just kind of gonna eyeball it and put it in this general area. So I'm putting in the bleeding hearts and the lily of the valley in here. I'm kind of doing like a swoop pattern with the bleeding hearts because those will get bigger, and then I'm doing the lily of the valley in front of them. I have a couple more minutes of free time, so I'm going to stick a few seeds into the ground while I have the time. I'm going to do some of this Snapdragon Black Prince. You need light to germinate these, but I do just kind of want to loosen the soil. So we got everything into the ground now, and I'm excited to see all these come up. I'm so glad y'all could join me today. If you hadn't seen my Costco haul video, then you can go check that out to see what the prices of all these different bulbs were that we put in the ground. But I'm excited to get the rest of this landscaped. It's going to be a slow process, but it's fun, and it'll definitely be rewarding once it is all in full bloom and looking beautiful. So if you're excited to see that, stay tuned, subscribe, and stay tuned for future videos. My name's Cara. This is Bluebird Homestead. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.